Okay, so boys and girls. So we're on our third drama, and I think you enjoyed this one. Who enjoyed this drama? This was a good one. So, as all of them have been, I've enjoyed them all. So here is our focus. It is a drama or play, and of course we know that they can be performed for an audience. So this could be a play for an audience. This one is a little different from the others because it's a different type of drama. So, authors of plays tell the story through the plot, which are of course the main events of the story or the drama. It begins, of course, with our cast of characters, so we know who is in our drama. They include, of course, our stage directions. That's so our actors know what they should do. They might include acts or scenes. And some plays include a theme or a lesson learned. And so as we're reading it today, I want you to think about what is the theme. And the easiest way to do that, boys and girls, is to think about what lesson do our two bear cubs learn? And you might think of maybe one or two. People might think of different things that they learned, what the different theme is. Because there could be two, maybe you might think of one thing and somebody else might think of a different theme. So there could be more than one theme, remember? When we listen to our Cram Jams video, stories can have more than one theme. Right, boys and girls? Is that true? Can a story have more than one theme? Or can there only be one theme in a story? Bryson, what do you think? There can be more than one theme. So we'll talk about it when we're done and we'll see if there can be more than one theme to this story, to this play. So here's what I want us to do. I want us to set a purpose. Why are we reading this? So think about the title, Two Bear Cubs, and the genre of this text. This play is based on a Native American myth. What do you know about myths? So Native Americans would be obviously the people who lived here in the United States before it was the United States. What do you know about myths? Claire, what do you know about myths?
It can never be real.
It can never be real. What do you know?
It's kind of like, myths are kind of like old stories.
Old stories. Very, very good. And what would you like to learn about myths? What would you like to learn? John?
What they're about.
Yes. What would you like to learn, Claire?
To learn if it could be possible, even if they say that they can't.
Yes. Hector?
I already read this story before.
Well, yes, we've all read it. You should have read it last night, so that's good. But this is about myths in general. What would you like to learn? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to write down what you would like to learn about myths in general. There are a lot of different myths. Now, some of you may have read maybe some Greek myths. There's very famous, there's so many Greek myths. Yes, yes. There's a famous one about a character named Icarus, and he made wings of wax to escape, and he flew very close to the sun. And what do you think happened to his wings if you're flying close to the sun, John?
His wings melted.
His wings melted. Yes,
I read this story.
you read about Icarus? That's a very famous Greek myth. And so there's a lot of Greek and Roman myths. Yes,
It has to, the myth that you just said, it has to be true because people can't fly to the sun, and if it would fly, you could use mechanics, but it still wouldn't work out.
well, he wasn't flying to the sun, but he was very close to the sun. Now, boys and girls, myths and fables. Now, I'm pretty sure last year we read one, and it was called how, what was he called? How something got his stripes. How,
Zebra got a swim.
not zebra. I think it was in this class. I hope it wasn't an old reader. How, oh, what is,
Tiger?
no, not tiger.
Giraffe?
No, giraffes don't have stripes. Not the squirrel, like the chipmunk. How chipmunk got his stripes. Was that in our reader last year, how chipmunk got his stripes? Oh, then maybe it was in the old reading series, because we used to read a story of how Chipmunk got his stripes, and that was like a fable or a myth. And it reminds me of this. Yes.
I don't know.
Do you remember that story?
No.
No? But it was in an old reader of ours, so that was an example of a myth like this. Okay, so here, what we're going to do is we are going to look at some characteristics of myths. Some characteristics of myths. Before, could somebody tell me what they wrote down that they want to learn about myths? What did you write down, Gabe?
Everything.
What did you write down on your paper?
I want to learn everything about myths.
You want to learn everything about myths. What did you write down, Claire?
I want to know if myths could really actually be possible.
Okay, what did you write down, John?
Same as me.
Okay, so let's read. Characteristics of myths. Myths are stories that try to explain how important natural events began or occurred. Cultures all over the world have their own myths, and many myths can be traced back to ancient times. A myth might tell a story about how a part of the world came to be, or it might explain something in nature, such as why it snows, or why certain animals act as they do. Many myths have a lesson or message about how to act toward others. Myths from ancient times may include gods, goddesses, or other superhuman heroes. Okay? Oh, did I go fast? Is there anything more to that? There you go. So that's what myths include. So they're going to explain things in nature. Gosh, we probably could have used a myth about why it snows so much. Wouldn't that have been appropriate, boys and girls? Because we certainly have a lot of snow. So let's listen to our story. We're going to stop and we're going to talk a little bit about it today.
Two Bear Cubs, retold by Robert D. Sansucci, illustrated by Helen Dardick.
Oh, look at how pretty look at the beautiful colors in here. Now see, can we look at it? Does it look like it's a true story? No. Because do those look like real bears? No.
Characters. Storyteller. Mother Grizzly. Older brother. Younger brother. Hawk. Fox. Badger. Mother Deer. Two fawns. Mountain lion. Mouse. Measuring worm. Tutaka-na. Prologue. Storyteller. Enters from stage left. Many snows have come and gone since this story was first told. My people, the Miwok, live in California, some in what is now called Yosemite Valley. We tell stories of the old days when animal people lived in the valley. One story begins with Mother Grizzly going to the river to catch fish for herself and her cubs. Exits.
Okay, so could somebody tell me, how is the name of the narrator in this story different from the narrators in the saga of Pecos Bill and Gigi and the Wishing Ring? How are they different? Ava?
Instead of narrator, they say storyteller.
They say storyteller. Very good. And how does the narrator establish the setting? How is the setting established? Isabella?
Many snows have come and gone.
They say many snows have come and gone. And what else do they say? What else are they telling us there? Evelyn?
Many people in live in California.
Yeah, they tell us that they lived in California. So now we're knowing that too. We're knowing that they're the Miwok, that they live in California, and they're telling us that they lived there long ago, correct? So we're hearing all that information right away. Oh, gotta get up here.
Scene 1. Setting. A forest and mountain, stage left. Open sky dotted with clouds, stage right. Blue cloth or painted cardboard across the front of the stage suggests a river. Mother Grizzly enters from stage left, holding a fish basket, and stands on the river bank. Her cubs, Younger brother and older brother enter and begin to play in the water. Older brother, laughing and splashing. Don't be afraid of a little water, younger brother. Younger brother, splashing back. I am not, older brother. Mother Grizzly, scolding. Children, stop scaring away the fish, or we will have nothing to eat. Out of the water now. They obey, but manage a last splash or two. I want you to gather berries, but stay close and do not go downriver. Strange things happen there.
Okay, so why does Mother Grizzly warn her sons not to go down river? Why doesn't she want them to go down river? Hector. Yes, strange things happen. So you read it. Were you surprised that older brother and younger brother really don't pay attention to what mother says? Was that surprising to you? No. Lucas, were you surprised by that? You have a younger brother, right?
Yeah.
Do you and your younger brother listen to everything your mother tells you?
No.
No. Logan, do you and your brother listen to everything your mother, no? How about, who else has a brother? Oh, Bryson, do you and your brother listen to everything your mom? What?
Not at all.
Not at all. So if she told you not to go down river, would you definitely not listen to that?
Probably.
You would definitely want to see what was downriver, wouldn't you?
Probably.
Probably. Gabe?
I have a brother. Pretty much I'm the oldest brother.
So would you go downriver to check it out? Yeah. Rosie? He doesn't listen. Okay. So, John?
I've got a younger brother, and me and him listen to my mom all the time because whenever she says something, we listen and obey because she always treats us nice.
Oh, okay, so you listen, so you wouldn't get into this predicament like the two bear cubs. So you wouldn't need to be rescued from the top of the mountain. So there you go there. We wouldn't have this story written about you. But we definitely would about the Harwell brothers. And some other brothers in here. We definitely know that the story would be written about them. So we have some adventurous brothers, and we have some brothers who listen to mom.
Mother Grizzly moves to stage left. The cubs move to stage right, while playing and pushing each other. A berry bush appears. Older brother, look at these berries. He picks and eats them greedily. They are so sweet. Taste them. Younger brother, we should take them back to mother. When older brother ignores him, the younger cub begins eating berries too. Suddenly, he rubs his stomach. I have eaten too many. Older brother, we will bring some back later. Oh, I am full too. Pointing. Let's see what is downriver. Younger brother, worried. We are not supposed to go there. Older brother, taunting, starts off. I see only the river and trees and stones. What is there to fear? After a moment's hesitation, younger brother follows. Younger brother, rubbing his eyes. I am tired. The hot sun and my full belly make me want to sleep. Older brother, yawning. A nap would be good. Greedily. When you do something greedily, you take more than you need. Hesitation. A hesitation is a pause that shows you are unsure about doing something.
So boys and girls, I have to think about, why is that younger brother so worried? So then I'm going to use, remember we have talked about different reading strategies? So I'm going to use one that we talked about before called monitor and clarify. So when I do that, I make a note I think to myself, well, he thinks that he should take the berries back to Mother Grizzly. And so I reread and see that older brother wants to go down river. But I made a note that Mother told them not to go there. Remember, she said, don't go down river. That strange things happen there. And I know that younger brothers sometimes follow older brothers even when they don't want to. So younger brother wants to go down river. That is why he has a moment's hesitation there. So that is what seems to be happening here.
A raised platform, decorated to look like a rock, slides into view. Younger brother, pointing. See that big flat rock? It looks so warm. Let's rest there. The cubs lie down side by side, stretch, and fall asleep. Storyteller, entering stage left. The cubs fell asleep on the stone, but the stone was the seed of a mountain. As they slept, the stone grew bigger and bigger, higher and higher. His hand spiraling upward suggests the growing mountain. It carried them so high that only Hawk saw them as he flew by. Pauses. Hawk enters, stage right, waving his arms like wings. He flies past the rock, looks at the sleeping cubs, and then flies back off stage the way he came. Storyteller, continuing. Meanwhile, Mother Grizzly wondered what had become of her cubs. Exits stage left.
So boys and girls, which side of the stage would the audience look at to see Hawk when he enters? Bianca, you think the right part of the stage? Which part of the stage does he enter from? He enters from the right, so you would look to the right? What do you think, Isabella?
The left.
The left. Why would you look at the left?
Because if you were standing on the stage, the left side to the audience would be the right side.
Yes, so you would be looking to the left side, because it would be the opposite. So everybody here, put up your he's entering from the right, so everybody here, put up your right hand. Okay. So this would be my right hand. So do you see how it's opposite? Because I'm looking at you. So stage right would be the audience's left. Stage left would be the audience's right. Do you see how it's opposite? Okay, boys and girls. So the direction says that Hawk enters stage right. Stage right is the actor's right side of the stage. That would be the audience's left part of the stage. Let's keep reading.
Scene 2. Fox and Badger are on stage, leaning cedar planks against a tent-shaped frame of poles. Mother Grizzly enters stage left, calling, "Older brother! Younger brother!" Mother Grizzly sees Fox and Badger. "Fox! Badger! Have you seen my cubs?" Fox: "No, I have been helping Badger build a new home." Badger: "Neither of us has seen them. We will help you look for them." Fox, Badger, and Mother Grizzly search to the right. Mother Deer and Fawns enter, stage left, and seat themselves, grinding acorns. Fox, Badger, and Mother Grizzly return to stage left and discover Mother Deer and her two fawns. Mother Grizzly: "Mother Deer, my little ones are missing. Have you seen them?" Mother Deer: "They have not come by while my children and I were grinding acorns, but we will help you find them."
It's nice how all the other animals are helping them, isn't it, boys and girls? Kind of reminds me of the story Chicken Little, how everybody went with Chicken Little when the sky was
Fox,
falling.
stopping, pointing. Look, everyone, there is a mountain where
Oh, wait
there
a
was
second.
only a stone before.
Oops, we skipped.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Mother Deer and Fawns rise and join the others as they move to stage right and then back again to left. They meet Mountain Lion carrying a load of firewood. Mother Grizzly. Mountain Lion, we are looking for my lost cubs. Mountain Lion sets her burden down. I will help you find them. All move to stage right, while Mouse enters from left and sits. Mouse is weaving a basket. The group at stage right moves left and meets Mouse. Mother Grizzly. Mouse, have you seen my cubs? We have searched everywhere for them. We have looked in hollow logs and caves and in the berry patch and the honey tree. Mouse, rising. No, but I will help you. Perhaps they went downriver. Mother Grizzly. I warned them not to go there. Mother Deer, patting Mother Grizzly's shoulder and glancing at her own fawns. Sometimes our little ones do not listen very well. I agree that we should look downriver. The animals on stage move slowly toward the mountain. Burden. A burden is something that is heavy to carry.
So boys and girls, why might Hawk be able to find the cubs when the others cannot? Why would the hawk be able to find them? Olivia?
Because the hawk can fly.
The hawk can fly.
Fox, stopping, pointing. Look, everyone, there is a mountain where there was only a stone before. All slowly raise their heads as they scan the mountain from base to summit. As they do, Hawk enters as before, flapping his wings. Mother Grizzly. I see Hawk. Cups paws around her mouth and shouts up to Hawk. Hawk, have you seen my lost cubs? Hawk, calling down. They are asleep on this strange new mountain. Mother Grizzly, calling up. Please fly to my children, wake them, and help them find their way down. Hawk pantomimes flying toward cubs and being blown back by mountain winds. After several tries, he speaks to those below. Hawk, calling down. The wind will not let me reach your little ones. Someone will have to climb up and rescue them. Storyteller enters stage left. One by one, the animals tried to reach the cubs. Animals pantomime their attempts as storyteller speaks. Mother Grizzly tried several times, but always tumbled back. Mouse jumped from stone to stone, but quickly got scared and jumped back down. Badger climbed a bit higher. Mother Deer a little bit higher. Fox did even better, but none succeeded. Even Mountain Lion failed.
Okay, so why can't Hawk rescue the cubs? Why can't Hawk rescue the cubs? John?
Because of the wind.
Because of the wind. Now, what seems to make Mother Grizzly give up all hope of finding her cubs? Yes.
Because Mountain Lion was the best climber.
Yeah, Mountain Lion's the best climber, and he can't climb up there.
When Mother Grizzly sees this, she begins to weep. The other creatures gather around to console her. Unnoticed by them, Measuring Worm enters.
Okay, so she seems to give up hope. So what text evidence helps us know that she's given up hope? What lets us know that poor Mother Grizzly has given up hope? Ava?
She began to weep.
She begins to weep. Everybody underline, she begins to weep. It's right there. She begins to weep. Poor Mother Grizzly. She is very sad.
Mother Grizzly, sadly. Mountain Lion, you are the best climber and were my best hope. There is no one now who can save my cubs. Measuring Worm. I will try. The other animals turn and stare at him, and then all except Mother Grizzly begin to laugh. Mountain Lion. Foolish Measuring Worm. Do you think you can do what the rest of us have failed to do? Mouse, meanly. Chutakana, your name is longer than you are. Storyteller, appearing stage left. My people call Measuring Worm Tutakana, which means little curl stretch. He moves by stretching, tu, then curling, talk, the way a caterpillar moves.
Now,
Unnoticed. When something is unnoticed, it is not seen by anyone.
so how do the most of the animals feel about Measuring Worm? How do they feel about Measuring Worm? Rosie, you think they feel jealous? I don't know if they feel jealous. At least at this point in the story, how do they feel? Logan?
They don't think he can maybe know.
They don't think he can make it up the mountain? Yes, they don't think he can make it up the mountain. Evelyn? They think he's too small. Hector?
Kind of like, yeah, right, you can make it up there.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, right, like you could do that. They don't think he can do it. Claire?
So if none of them could do it, then surely he couldn't, because he's way smaller than them.
Yes, because he's way too small. They say he's what? What name do they call him? What name do they call him, Allison? Yes. And they use an adjective to describe him. It starts with F. They say he's what? What do they call him? Allison? They say he's foolish. And how does Mother Grizzly feel about Measuring Worm? What does she think? Gabe? Unnoticed? What do you think? Olivia?
She's confident in him?
Yeah, she thinks maybe he could do it, right?
Mother Grizzly, drying her eyes. I welcome your help. Measuring Worm begins to climb, all the while crying, to talk. The other animals sit, staring at the mountain, watching as the worm stretches and curls in a climbing motion. Measuring Worm, loudly. To talk! To talk! Scene 3. Storyteller. In time, Measuring Worm climbed even higher than Mountain Lion. He climbed so high that the animals below could no longer see or hear him. Sometimes he would grow afraid and stop when he saw how high he had climbed and how much higher he had to go. Then he thought about poor Mother Grizzly, so worried at the bottom of the mountain. He thought about the cubs in danger at the top. Then he found his courage again and continued to climb, all the while crying. Measuring Worm. To talk! To talk! To talk! Storyteller exits as Measuring Worm finally crawls onto the rock. He bends over the two sleeping cubs and calls. Measuring Worm. Wake up! The cubs are drowsy as they wake and stretch and yawn. Drowsy. A drowsy person is sleepy and not able to think clearly.
So, boys and girls, what do you think the actors on stage are doing while the storyteller speaks the dialogue in 57? What do you think the actors are doing? Logan?
Sitting.
You think they're sitting? What do you think they're doing, Evelyn?
They're still watching for Measuring Worm.
Yeah, they're probably watching Measuring Worm climb up the mountain. I think that's probably what they're doing, watching Measuring Worm. Oh, nothing to see there. Nothing to...
Older brother crawls and looks over the side of the rock. Younger brother, something terrible has happened. Look how high we are. Younger brother, also on his knees, peers down. We are trapped here. We will never get back to our mother. The cubs begin to cry. They have forgotten Measuring Worm. Measuring Worm, comforting the cubs. Do not be afraid. I have come to guide you safely down the mountain. Just follow me and do as I say. We will follow the safe path that brought me here. Older brother. I am afraid I will fall. Younger brother. I am scared too. Measuring Worm, gently. Surely Mother Grizzly's children are not so afraid, for she is the bravest creature in the valley. Older brother, puffing out his chest and beating it with his paw. We are grizzlies. We are brave. Younger brother, doing the same. We will follow you. They pantomime following a safe path in single file, with Measuring Worm leading, older brother following, and younger brother behind. Below, Fox suddenly spots something, stands up, and peers more closely. Fox, excitedly, pointing to a spot about halfway up the mountain. Mother Grizzly, look! Measuring Worm is guiding your cubs down the mountain. All animals look where Fox is pointing. Mother Grizzly, joyful, fearful. Be careful, my children! Mother Deer, reassuring her friend. Trust Measuring Worm. He has brought them safely this far. He will not fail you now. The animals continue to watch. They slowly lower their gaze to follow the climbers as they come down the mountain. At last, the cubs and Measuring Worm make a final leap from the mountain to the ground. The cubs run to their mother. Mother Grizzly gives them a big hug. Then she pushes them away and shakes her finger at them.
So why does
Reassuring. If you are reassuring a friend, you are trying to keep him from worrying about something.
So why does Mother Grizzly push them away and shake her finger at them? Why does she do that? What do you think, Bianca? Yeah, she's mad at them. Why is she mad at them? Yes, Lucas.
Because they disobeyed her.
They disobeyed. Yeah, they disobeyed her.
Mother Grizzly, scolding. Both of you have been very naughty. Look at the trouble and worry you have caused us all. You did not listen to me and went where you were not supposed to go. Older brother, hanging head. I'm sorry. I won't do it again. Younger brother, starting to cry. I will never disobey you again. Mother Grizzly, gathering them up in her arms again. Be sure that you remember what happened today, but do not cry, little ones. It has all ended well, thanks to the help and courage of Measuring Worm. The animals gather around Measuring Worm and congratulate him. Storyteller enters stage left. Then all the animals decided to call the new mountain Tutakanula, which means Measuring Worm Stone. This was to honor the heroic worm who did what no other creature could do. He saved the two bear cubs. The mountain held this name for many years until newcomers named the mountain El Capitan. We Miwok still call the mountain Tutakanula to this day. The end.
Oh, very interesting. Very good. Now, boys and girls, this is a real mountain, El Capitan, or as they call it, Tutakanula. Do you want to see a picture of it?
Yeah.
I'll show you the mountain that the two bear cubs were on. So this is explaining how this mountain came to be. So let me get the picture of the mountain. So you need to be quiet. Yes, that's El Capitan.
That's too big of a mountain. No way, that little tiny worm climbed all the way
That's
up.
El Capitan. That is in Yosemite. Has anybody ever gone to Yosemite in California? It's a national park. It's in Yosemite National Park. El Capitan. That is El Capitan. Yes. Did you see it? There it is. People climb it. Isn't it cool? So that is what they were explaining. They're explaining about this mountain. Yes. You went there the same day. Same day as what? Oh, they have a picture of this guy. He climbs it. His name is Alex Honnold, and he's a free solo climber. And what he does is he climbs, and he doesn't have any equipment when he climbs. He just climbs like without any equipment. Most people climb mountains and they have like harnesses and things to help them stay on the side of the mountain without falling off. But he will climb it just with his hands and feet, which is very dangerous. So there's a movie called Free Solo, and it's all about him climbing El Capitan, which is very difficult to climb. Yes.
Did he?
Yeah, he did it. What?
Did he have gloves or something?
No, I don't think he, I don't know if he wears gloves. I think he does it just with his hands so he could feel. Yes.
How did he even get back down?
How did he get down? He climbed down.
With his bare hands?
Yes.
That was the first. No, it's not the first.
He's a very determined person and is like a world-class climber. So that is his thing is climbing. There's a movie about him. It's very interesting to watch the movie. I think you guys might be too young to see the movie, but it's very interesting seeing what a very determined person can do. So boys and girls, but that is El Capitan. It's so big. So big. Okay, so, yes, that is our story. He's an interesting person.